No, no, man. You just go to the right of track.
All right. Well, here is the
like that.
a lesson learned video for myself
Sorry, did I
from
hear
the
you?
spa.
Was I in your way?
Um,
No, you got around me.
I like to pull these together at the end of each week with just notes about my lines and breaking points and do's and don'ts from as I've learned the track. So the way I'm gonna organize this video is just gonna have a preview here of the best lap, which in this case this one was 2:15.9, and then I'm gonna go in slow motion and review my lines again. And mainly this is for me to go back to, as you know, the season ends. It's 12 weeks. Each season is 12 weeks long. So by the time that you have cycled through the remaining 12 weeks and you go back to Spa, for example, or whatever track you may be on, a lot of my knowledge just kind of disappears. So the finer details of the driving habits and things that you've learned. So that's why I wanted to pull this together for myself. Hopefully it's useful for others as well. So looks like in this case, haven't really had the opportunity to draft very closely from other cars. So I would think that this truly was a good clean lap. Just from watching my lines here, I'm hitting all of my apexes, all of my braking points quite nicely. So 15.9 is a decent lap. It will qualify me usually. Well, it really depends on the I rating, but towards the bottom of the top half. A really good competitive time around here is in the 12s. So still some work to do. You see the cars cutting in and out, and that's my internet connection.
Wow, how'd you get
So, all right, 2:15.9, pretty happy with that. So let's go and do a slow-mo of this. I'm gonna turn off the talk. So here, I want to make sure I'm braking in a straight line here. Right here at the, I'm gonna go back a little bit. The braking point here is the 100-yard mark, and you can also see right here where this blob, this piece of dirt here ends. This is my braking point. So here I want to brake in a straight line down to fourth, down to third, down to second, and as I'm getting into first, you can start the turn-in. It's a bit of a late apex. Want to come here as close to the wall as possible and start getting on the gas early. Not too early, because then you will spin out or you might go wide and get a 1x. And then at this point, you just want to straighten things up and just get on the gas, stay on the gas. Now, as we are approaching Eau Rouge, I want to stay as far to the right here, then cut across, go all the way across here, turn right, and keep the steering angle solid. Stay a little bit more to the right. This was actually good and clean. I believe I was able to go across there without getting an off track. So that's as close as you can come to getting an off track here. And I'm gonna see if I can do I'm gonna do a chase view. I'm gonna lower this. By the way, to get into this camera view, what you need to do is hit Control F12. And I'm gonna zoom a little bit, and let me go slowly into this, and I want to show you. So right here, if where the middle of the car is goes past the concrete, you should have gotten an 1x, which I didn't. So perhaps they are still counting this white line here as being in the clear, but technically everywhere else I would have been this would have been an off track by about a foot. So that's what you want to pay attention to. So let me go back here. Let's go back into the cockpit view, and as we're approaching the brake line here, you go in max acceleration and you brake right at the 100 line. So I start braking right here, 5 down to 4, down to third, and I probably could have stayed a little bit more to the right here, but you want to cut a lot of the track here. Still braking, well, getting off the brake now. Actually, let me go back, watch the brake input here. Trail braking, getting off the brakes right around here, back on the gas, and use full acceleration through here, and then you're gonna lift off about 50%. Probably didn't have to, I broke a little bit. I felt like I was going really fast. So you want to straighten the car up to gain as much speed here as possible, because this is a pretty fast right-hander, and you just have to lift a 50%. I could have, looks like I have lost, I could have gone a little bit closer here, as you can see. Yeah, I have lost a couple of feet over here. Could have gotten a lot closer, which would allow me to go a little bit faster. And then you can go all the way out and use all the space. Again, could have gone another couple of feet over. When you go on the tarmac here, it is kind of slippery, so you want to make sure you don't have any steering input at that point. Let me go back into the cockpit view. You want to start braking right around here. Okay. It's interesting, the cockpit view disappears, but then you can cycle through it. So let me go back here into the cockpit view. So here is the exit out of that corner. So the next braking marker here is right here before the concrete starts on the left-hand side. I like to cut it in and a little bit closer. Want to make sure you hug the corner down into second gear, and you're still trail braking a little bit until you feel like you're no longer kind of moving away from the right-hand side of the track. If you are, you need to continue to trail brake. Here you can start getting on the gas, come maybe 3/4 out, not all the way to the left, because then you don't have enough time to go to the right. Here you can get on the concrete barrier, and there are two ways to go through this corner here. If I have a lot of speed and I cannot get my wheels up, I will just try to go about as closely as this car is. Otherwise, if you can, it's okay to put 2 wheels onto the top of the platform here. You're not gonna get a 1X, and it will actually help turn the car so you can get on the gas a little bit sooner. So in this case, didn't quite make it. I could have gone a lot wider here. Again, looking at the change the camera. Looking at here. So here, that's probably as far as I would have wanted to go. That was perfect. And then when you're coming out of this corner, you can go really wide. Again, looking at the middle of the car, don't want to go past this line. So I could have gone a lot further out, which means I could have picked up a lot more speed. But it is easy to get a 1X if you're still learning on the track. You do want to be careful, so that you don't go offline there. So it's good to be a little bit more conservative early on. Let's get back into the cockpit view. So here, the braking marker here is, there's this light here, and I will start braking right here, right at the light. 5th down to 4th, you trail brake a little bit, you're bleeding off the brake right around here. And I hug this apex, and you can come out wide. You can see where the line is. You're getting on the gas, not quite 100%, otherwise I feel like, especially later in the race, the car is spinning out. But once you go past once I go past this point here, come all the way out to the right, and again, there's a lot of space. You don't want to pass this line with the middle of the car so you don't get a 1X. But right around here, you can really start opening it up. When you know you've made it, once you've made this apex and you point it in the right direction, here you can get on the gas 100% of the time. 100%. Excuse me, 100%. It will carry the car out quite a bit. You can come all the way to the right here, even further out than this. You have that, you're not gonna get a 1X there, and you know you've gone fast if you can get it into the 6th gear. Now here I brake right before the concrete. Here, it's a relatively heavy braking zone. You want to go all the way down a third, and again here you can put the wheel up, which will help rotate the car, but it's okay to also just go through here. Here it's a bit of a late apex, so you want to make sure you hug in the corner, stay tight, full acceleration here, then you're bleeding off. I'm braking a little bit here. I actually got up onto the platform there. It helps with the turn in, and you can get on the gas a little bit sooner. You can come out. This was clean. Let me go back. I still had a little bit of a space here, probably another foot, but this is good. No need to continue. No need to push that any farther than that. And then here I brake right before this barrier. So I'm getting on the brakes now. 4th down to 3rd, and then right around here I start my turn in. Again, it's okay to put your two right wheels onto the platform. It's gonna turn in. You probably want to avoid what he's doing, because that's gonna push the car. So you either have to commit to this line or stay just a little bit to the left of it. And you can slowly start getting on the gas here. Now what I like to do here, I like to come up onto the tarmac, and I will get about halfway up right here, and I'll stay on it until I initiate my turn-in, which is, turn-in is, let me go back a little bit. My turn-in is just as I'm reaching the end of the platform here, starting the right-hand turn. Now, I'm going full here, and then I do feel like most of the time I really do need to lift a little bit, otherwise I am flirting with a 1X here, and I feel like I'm really also working the tires, which becomes an issue when you have a longer race like this, which is 1 hour at the spa. So once I know that I've made it, I will go full gas here. Again, it's okay to come out a little bit. Had a little bit more space here. Again, I could have probably been another half a car length off to the left. And let me go back. Go wide, and then you want to keep it wide here. I used to cut across these lines here, but it's okay. You can stay left and stay onto the left side here, and then once you see the DHL sign in full view, then you can start coming to the right. I could have stayed on the left side. Probably doesn't make a huge difference at this point. Once I've made the turn, I'm accelerating 100%. It will not matter. Here I want to straight line this. I see a lot of guys going all the way to the right side. I think I was trying in this case follow the BMW, but you want to make sure that you're hitting this white line here, making this line as short as possible. And then you're gonna come out to the right to prepare for this really fast left-hander, in which I have to lift most of the time. Obviously lose a little bit of time, but I'm making sure that I don't have an off track. And here again, I've gone a little wide, so let me go back and look at my line. So I'm as far to the right as I can be, and on these fast left-handers I usually miss the apex a little bit. So I missed it by a foot, which probably would allow me to go full gas. this is pretty good. I had just about a half a foot before I get myself into trouble, so pretty happy with that corner exit. As you can see, I lifted a little bit once I knew I was good. I was back on the gas. So the braking point here is right past the line, right here where these smidges are. I get on the brakes here and go on. Let me just go through this again. I kind of go in a straight line. You'll see a lot of guys here already making their way to the left to brake in a straight line as they're approaching the S's. I go right around here where the car in front of me is, and then from here on out I just gonna go straight and I get onto the concrete here, which I guess induces a little bit more of an angle in terms of the final turn-in, but it allows me to go in a straight line here, which I feel is more important. And also watching the fast guys, that's how most of the people drive. So as I said, the braking marker here is the 150 sign right around here, pretty heavy on the brakes, down to 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd. And then as you are starting the turn-in, I should be getting into 2nd here anytime. Soon as you initiate the turn-in, you're gonna get into the 1st. Now what's key here is you really want to stay tight, but not too tight, because if you're gonna get onto the snake here, onto the sausage, like he did, it's gonna unsettle the car and bump you. I think I've probably hit it as well. I'm gonna go take a look at it. But as soon as you have it turned in, you want to get on the gas, full gas here for about a half a second. Make sure you're not going all the way to the left. You want to stay to the right because you want to be straightening up this exit as much as possible. Again, you want to avoid the sausage here, otherwise that's going to bump you off to the right. You're going to lose valuable time coming out of the corner. And you can start getting on the gas here slowly, and as soon as you know you're gonna make it right around now, you can start accelerating. And here you have again a lot of space. I could have gone a lot more to the right, but again it is easy to get 1x, and I've gotten a couple of them, so I was a little bit conservative here. But you can go another foot or two to the right, where this Richard Mill car is in front of me. So let me go back and look at this as I'm approaching this from the rear view. So this is good. Probably could have been a little bit more to the right. Start the turn in, downshift to 2nd, downshift to 1st. Ideally, I think would have been a little bit more to the right here to make sure that I'm avoiding the curbing here. Let me look at the... Yeah, I think I've caught it here actually. Yep, I should have been a little bit more to the right, because let's see what happens. Yeah, I get on it. It kind of unsettles the car. So ideally, I'm a little bit more to the right. This is about the right line. You're gonna be here, and it's a late apex into this turn. So this pushed me to the left. Now I'm over braking. Let me take a look at the other side. I bet that I've probably... Well, I've avoided it, but not by much. Yeah, you see, I should have been more to the right and straightened the exit out. This is key. You can easily lose a half a second right here through the S's. So, and then just have a nice wide exit. As I was saying, I had the opportunity to go a lot wider than this, which I didn't capitalize on. So that was probably cost me another 1/10 or 2/10. And here you just kind of start making your way slowly onto the left side to get ready for your braking. So that's my lap. hope whoever is watching, you guys found it useful. If you have any comments, suggestions, post them below.